St. Augustine. His comments about Rome could be about our present time. In St. Augustine's book, City of God, there are comments he made about Roman society which are true about our own. He wrote the book after the Visigoths under King Alaric sacked Rome in the year 410 AD. In many of the chapters, he wrote about the complaints of the pagans against the Christians. A sense of the decline of the Roman Empire permeated the book. One chapter stood out. It described what St. Augustine felt the Roman citizens of the day really wanted. The type of culture and society the leading Romans of that period desired to live in and wished to remain free to continue until their dying days. The parallel with our current situation is uncanny. Rome, a once great republic, had sunk into an empire that cared only for its own luxuries, not for any notion of honor or fraternity. St. Augustine, in chapter 20, titled Of the Kind of Happiness and Life Truly Delighted in by Those Who Inveigh Against the Christian Religion, writes of what the Romans of the time truly preferred. This is what he said. Only let it remain undefeated, they say. Only let it flourish and abound in resources. Let it be glorious by its victories, or still better, secure in peace. What matters it to us? This is our concern, that every man be able to increase his wealth so as to supply his daily wants, and so that the powerful may subject the weak for their own purposes. Let the poor court the rich for a living, and that under their protection they may enjoy a sluggish tranquility. And let the rich abuse the poor as their dependents, to minister to their pride. Let the people applaud not those who protect their interests, but those who provide them with pleasure. Let no severe duty be commanded, no impurity forbidden. Let the kings estimate their prosperity not by their righteousness, by the servility of their subjects. Now I thought the line, let the poor court the rich for a living, and that under their protection they may enjoy a sluggish tranquility, was particularly true today. I equate that with the rich CEOs and billionaires who amassed wealth by exploiting others and have a ready army of eager executives striving to outdo each other in how profit may be increased on the backs of their employees and customers. Rome in the 5th century, as the majority of the world does in the 21st century, is on a quest for material wealth at the expense of all else. There is more, which speaks to our consumer society and the media, which promotes unbridled political correctness by attacking anyone who disagrees with the party line. This is what St. Augustine said. Let there be erected houses of the largest and most ornate description. In these let there be provided the most sumptuous banquets, where everyone who please may, by day or night, play, drink, vomit, dissipate. Let there be everywhere heard the rustling of dancers, the loud, immodest laughter of the theater. Let a succession of the most cruel and the most voluptuous pleasures maintain a perpetual excitement. If such happiness is distasteful to any, let him be branded as a public enemy. And if any attempt to modify or put an end to it, let him be silenced, banished, put an end to. Let these be reckoned with true gods, who procure for the people this condition of things, and preserve it when once possessed. Let them be worshipped as they wish. Let them demand whatever games they please from or with their own worshippers. Only let them secure that each felicity not be imperiled by full plague or disaster of any kind. Now, I'm not advocating we should return to the rampant discrimination of people because of different races, preferences, or other criteria, or to a religious atmosphere of intolerance and exclusion. Spiritism tells us that all should be respected. I am speaking of a culture gone too far in hedonistic pursuits, of which I have played my part, where wearing the latest tennis shoes is something that gets you killed, where there are no rules in the games of accumulating more and more. I am speaking to the moral rules, guidelines that people voluntarily follow because they are the right thing to do. The usual answer to pile on more government regulations is a chimera. The rich and powerful will always find a way around any written code. Only when society shuns instead of glorifies rapacious behavior will the pendulum start to swing back to a more normal position. Hence, we all have to play our little part and contribute via our own conduct to illustrate the brighter path of loving, caring, fraternity, and honest dealings with those around us. If you would like to know more about how to live, how to decrease the stress of your life, the more control we have over our own thoughts, the more calm, the more reasoning, the more loving we become. All contribute to a true paradise awaiting us when we are scheduled to pass back to the real world, the spirit realm. Each verse is essentially a list for advancement and serenity. In each chapter of my book, I will explore one aspect of attaining inner peace. I shall attempt to describe the end state of what was envisioned in the specific verse and why this state is vital for your spiritual growth. Inner peace is more than a poem or a list of spiritual conquest. It is what should be the result of full integration into the Spiritist doctrine. Inner peace is the result, the summit of attainment possible in our short earth lives. The climb is worth the effort, and upon reaching the summit, you shall view more mountains to scale and ever-increasing rewards to attain in your quest. God bless.